5 people's watching me. Half a body with no head watching me. On the phone. Anyway, music industry reaction to UDIO. Well, most of them haven't woken up yet. So anyone that knows me, and not many people do, is that I'm a multi-platinum producer. I've had lots of songs, done lots of songs over 25 years, but I also got obsessed with AI about 7 years ago, way before it was fashionable. And I've annoyed all my friends and family because I've known for 7 years what's coming. So I could prepare, really. And literally, I've known about 3 years ahead. So I knew 2024 would be the end of the music industry. I knew 2023 would be the end of digital art and photography, not event photography, but normal photography. So I kind of like prepared because I'm a painter as well as a music producer. So I kind of prepared and saved money, and you know, because it helps to know the future, and especially in a world that's so weird and moving so fast. But with I will say UDIO, Suno didn't shock me. It's brilliant, I like Suno. But UDIO, it was a jump. I mean, that's literally like the AGI of music, because it's not only can it create amazing, I mean, it sounds completely finished recordings, but it's also brilliant compositions. I mean, it's the best songwriter in the world. and that's all right. So the music industry reaction, they're so slow. I'm signed to Universal Music, and I went with about nearly 3 years ago with a voice clone of a song. I cloned my voice, or 2 years ago, and I said, I'm gonna release a song, try and guess who the singer is, and they said, oh, Lipa or Dido. They literally went through anyone that I've worked with. And I said, no, it's me. And they couldn't understand. I said, it's my voice, I sung it. And then I cloned my voice, and they were like looking at me weird, going, what is he talking about? And I almost couldn't get them to understand, which was shocking. And I said, this is going to absolutely rock the industry. Well, yeah, I guess I just have no punch. So I was totally ignored and called a weirdo. And actually released quite a few songs in 2019, one called Artificial Intelligence Replaces the Need for Humans. Check it out, Ryan Lauder. And also I did an EP with Sam Harris called ASI, Artificial Superintelligence. Check that out. Anyway, that was all like 4 or 5 years ago now. But so UDIO is, so you have to like, it's very hard, and it's going to really depress a lot of people. So I've gone through that depression a couple of years ago, because I knew it was coming and it was like inevitable, and it's very hard to deal with the human ego. We think we're special, and we might be, but it's kind of turning out that we're not, because really AI's conquered image. I mean, if you use Midjourney, you can do anything, and it's amazing quality, and it's astounding if you know how to prompt. It's really conquered it, and it really and I thought music would be, I knew it would be this year, but I didn't realize it would be so good. I thought it would be just Ed Sheeran good. I didn't know it would be Mozart good, and it really is. And you do classical music prompts, wow. But so it's so this is kind of what I knew it was coming, so I made sure prepared. I went through the depression, and then I kind of, once my ego was destroyed, I kind of like was, and it's very hard because I definitely had an ego, and it's well, once I got rid of that a couple of years ago, as much as I can, much as any human being can, and I was like born again into a kind of, well, if the meteor's going to hit the earth, then let me just do what I want to do. So I kind of, I mean, I've been living that way for quite a few years, where I just do what I want to do, and I don't care. I don't care about pensions and all that stuff, and uh, and it's been a great way of living, I have to say. And I also can live without. That's a massive thing. If you can live without, and you're happy with a simple financial life, then you can lead a happy life. But without art, without the hard thing is like realizing, wow, there is no legacy to leave. There is no. This really is the kind of end of human creativity. I thought. So I kind of thought, well, it's the end. It's going to be conquered by AI, which it has been. I'm probably going to want to give up, which I haven't been. This is interesting, because I kind of thought I'd just lose all kind of will to do anything. And what I've found is that I'm actually, because I've had years to deal with the philosophical side, the ideological side, the ego side, I'm probably a lot further ahead psychologically than most people. And that's because I've had 7 years to think about it. And so I can advise people to allow their depression, allow it, let it happen. You can't fight it. You can't hate the inevitable. It just is. It just is. So there's no point hating AI. There's no point hating what's happened, how it's destroyed this and destroyed that. There's no point. It's just, it was inevitable. It was always inevitable, and there was no stopping it. There was no controlling it. There's no way the music industry think they're going to control it. They cannot control it. It's open. You can't turn back the clock on that one, I'm afraid. But and funny enough, the music industry, it's weird. The catalogs are still being sold by these big majors, and they still think they don't get it. It's like, you do realize your catalog's worth nothing. If you can create 9,000 Queen songs, 9 billion, probably Queen's catalogue will probably eventually be watered down to nothing. And really, everyone's going to be able to create anything. So weird that they don't wake up to that. But I am awake, and I found I've been really creative. And this is the reason why, because Ray Kurzweil says we're going to be, he's the guy to follow. If you want to know the future, Ray Kurzweil is the guy to follow. He said you get given godlike powers, and there'll be new art forms and all that stuff. And then it was the godlike powers that I thought, wow. And that's what I realized, we've been given godlike powers. UDIO has given us, as musicians, godlike powers. We can create anything our mind wants to do. That's incredibly powerful, and we can do a lot of it. Now, there might not be an audience for it, which is another conversation. You know, if 1 trillion people are, no, it isn't 1 trillion people, you idiot, but there's 8 billion people, and, you know, 4 billion are creating music with UDIO, then, you know, you're going to have 2 people in your audience. Everyone's going to listen to my song, listen to my song. Now, there's going to be a difference. To me, I'm not going to respect anyone that uses text to music and calls themselves a songwriter and then doesn't know how to, no. I'm never going to respect that. And, but they'll do it anyway. But I don't respect a lot of DJs. I'm not really, you know, I can't respect people that jump up and down on stage and play an MP3. And I know that's quite controversial, considering I've worked with some of them. But that's what I feel. I don't have no respect for it whatsoever. But, you know, I do have respect for their business, though. The fact that they can make a business out of it and, like, sell out stadiums and stream 100 million times more than me. Yeah. But I don't respect it. And I won't respect people who use UDIO and then go release it and go, oh, that's what I've done. But we all should use it, because there's no point fighting. You can't be an ant, I said this to Uriel, you can't be an ant amongst gods. You've got to be God. If you want to compete, you've got to be a god. So you have to incorporate AI into your life and work with it every day. I work with it all day. I have conversations with ChatGPT my subscription, and like it has helped me so much just to talk through stuff and ideas. And also if I feel a bit down, I just talk to it and it helps me. It's amazing. We're in an amazing time. But you have to let go of the past. And the past is, you know, you didn't have a machine that could write better than you. That's all. And now we have a machine that can write better than all of us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that machine that can write better than all of us, and then I'll write on top of it. If it can create me a masterpiece, I'm going to take that masterpiece and go, well, let me throw in a kitchen sink of weirdness. Give me a symphony, a beautiful symphony, and I might put a beat to it. You know what I mean? I'm always going to add something. So the way I look at it is that I've become a god. I can create a funk song in 15 seconds with the right prompt. And I can write funk, but it takes a long time, those arrangements. And now I can pretty much create it, and I can create 10 of them and go, oh, I like that one. I like that bit. I like this bit. So chop it together. We are gods. We've been given godlike powers. And the same goes for art. You know, I kind of like don't, the thing is I'm quite a prolific writer. I don't really need these tools to write. So I did feel like I was kind of like battling up, but now I've incorporated it in it. I've realised, oh wow, may the best songwriter win. So sometimes I get UDIO to write a song. Like this morning I wrote lyrics for a musical I'm writing. And I wrote the lyrics. I find that the lyrics writing is awful, which is odd. I always find that I've always been a lyric writer. So, and artists, most artists I've worked with have really struggled with lyrics. I'd never really understood it. But look, ChatGPT, and they're terrible. The lyrics are awful. You have to really, you never get a decent set of lyrics. I always find I have to write them, which is great. I've still got a roll for about 2 seconds. But, So I wrote the lyrics this morning, sat down with a cup of coffee and went through UDIO and prompted it. So I want a big musical song, classical crossover, stroke, epic music kind of thing. And then 15 seconds later, it came out with 2 versions, and one was brilliant. And I thought, well, great, that's cool. And then I extended it, which you can extend another 30 seconds. And then eventually I came up with a really great song. Now what I'll do is I'll strip all those tracks out using AI and rework it, but I've got an amazing start. And, that saved me a lot of time, but also it's like having an amazing co-writer that just delivers you an amazing track to then, and if it's good enough to go out, then it goes out. I'm not really going to create some UDIO and just send it out. Otherwise there is no point to me. But I haven't found it yet. I mean, it will probably happen eventually, but right now there is a role for me, I feel. And so I'll put out a lot of music. I've got a lot of music to put out anyway. But I just kind of think, well, I might as well just release it all now. So, it's just my audience is going to whittle down anyway, because there's going to be 1 billion people releasing an audio. But because my ego I've tried to destroy my ego, I don't really care about audience anymore. I just want to do my thing and create and see what happens. And if I'm an audience of just me, then it's all right. But I've had years to think about it. And so I urge people, don't hate AI. It is what it is. Embrace it, work with it. Otherwise you're dead, really. So you just got to get over it. And I've just written a song with the piano and recorded it, and then I brought it upstairs to mess around with it. So it's not like you're going to not write music without AI. I just think I might write half of this song right like that, and then the other half with UDIO, and I can do anything now. Anything my imagination wants. So if you try and fight it, you will be crushed. So you might as well embrace it and just get on with the new world. And I urge people to study the new world, because I have, and I know what's coming, and it's going to change every tiny little aspect of your life. And I think everyone should know what's coming. That's another video. Anyway, don't get depressed. Well, no, that's not true. So my advice is let the depression happen, go out, take some long walks, think long and hard, and realize a lot of what you're thinking, your depressing feelings are ego-based. The ego. Once you get rid of ego, you can be happy. Goodbye.